Hello and welcome to this video on the Age of Exploration. The Age of Exploration, also known as the Age of Discovery, was a period of global exploration and discovery that occurred from the 15th to the 17th centuries. This period marked the beginning of European expansion into the Americas, Africa, and Asia. Today, we'll take a closer look at this fascinating era of history and uncover some lesser-known facts along the way. The Renaissance, which began in Italy in the 14th century, saw a renewed interest in learning and the arts, as well as a desire to explore new ideas and technologies. It was during this period that many European countries began to establish themselves as maritime powers, with Portugal taking the lead in the exploration of Africa, and Spain launching expeditions to the Americas. In the early 15th century, Prince Henry the Navigator of Portugal sponsored a series of expeditions along the African coast, hoping to find a sea route to India and establish trade relations with the East. These expeditions led to the discovery of new trade routes, as well as the establishment of Portuguese colonies in Africa and Brazil. In 1492, Christopher Columbus, sponsored by King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella of Spain, set out to find a westward sea route to Asia. Instead, he landed in the Caribbean and began the Spanish conquest of the Americas. Over the next few decades, Spanish explorers, such as Hernán Cortés and Francisco Pizarro, conquered much of Central and South America, establishing the Spanish Empire. While the Portuguese and Spanish were exploring Africa and the Americas, other European countries were seeking new trade routes to Asia. The Dutch, French, and English established trading posts in India and the East Indies, while the British East India Company and the Dutch East India Company were established to conduct trade in the region. The Age of Exploration had a profound impact on world history. It led to the globalization of trade, the exchange of ideas and cultures, and the spread of Christianity. It also resulted in the exploitation of natural resources, the enslavement of native peoples, and the spread of diseases that decimated populations. The Age of Exploration also paved the way for the colonization of the Americas, which would have far-reaching consequences for the indigenous peoples of the continent. The Vikings were some of the earliest explorers of North America, around 1000 AD, well before Christopher Columbus. They established settlements in present-day Newfoundland, Canada, but their presence in North America did not have a significant impact. The Portuguese were the first European power to establish trade routes to India and China, thanks to the voyages of Vasco da Gama and his successors. They traded spices, textiles, and precious metals, and established a trading empire that lasted for centuries. Christopher Columbus did not actually discover America, as he believed he had reached the East Indies. Instead, he landed in the Bahamas, and subsequently explored the Caribbean and Central America. His voyages had a profound impact on world history, as they opened up the Americas to European colonization and exploitation. Ferdinand Magellan was the first explorer to circumnavigate the globe, although he did not complete the journey himself, as he was killed in a battle in the Philippines. His expedition proved that the world was round and paved the way for further global exploration. European explorers did not only seek to expand their empires and trade, but also to spread Christianity to new lands. Missionaries accompanied many expeditions and converted indigenous populations to Christianity, often through force or coercion. The Age of Exploration was a period of great change and discovery, as European explorers ventured into new lands and established trade networks around the world. While it had a significant impact on the world, it was also marked by conflict, exploitation, and tragedy. Today, the legacy of the Age of Exploration continues to be felt in the cultures and societies that were shaped by its exploration and conquest. We hope we have been able to give you some idea of the Age of Exploration. Thanks for watching.